Supporters of former President Donald Trump have been caught using AI to create fake black people. BBC Panorama recently discovered dozens of deep fakes created by white Trump fans portraying black people as supporting the former president. Okay, I'm going to show you an example here, like this one. That is a fake image. Obviously, you notice the hat over in the upper left-hand corner. It's got a bunch of gibberish on it. Like, those are not even words. And then, of course, you look at the woman's shirt. You can see that also gibberish. And then over on the left-hand side, that does not exactly look like a man with fingers, with enough fingers, okay? That watch for the fingers. Watch for the fingers. Always watch for the fingers, okay? It gets better, though. Here's the next one. That man appears to literally have 3 arms. Okay, on the right. Why do this? Why have AI create these images of black conservative Trump supporters? Okay, I mean, if you have to resort to doing that, what does that say for Trump's actual black support? Not very well, right? And I go back to a real image from 2016, a white woman holding up a sign, "Blacks for Trump." Okay. Look, I'm not saying that Trump does not have black supporters. He does. Of course. Black people are not a monolith, all right? And there are black conservatives, plenty of them, right? But that said, not a ton, all right? And so, yeah, there's some issues with Trump's black support. And so what this is that apparently it's a way to try to trick black people into supporting the former president, which makes no sense. As I mentioned before, black people are not a monolith, and they're not going to be tricked into supporting a presidential candidate just because other black people are alleged to support him. Look, black people don't vote for Democrats because, other black people vote for Democrats. That's ridiculous. Everybody's got their different reasons for voting. Again, there are black Republicans, black conservatives, there's black, libertarians, there's black progressives. Not a monolith, okay? And look, there are black people with very legitimate issues with the Democratic Party that they have voiced, saying that the Democratic Party has largely taken them for granted as an institution. It hasn't really focused on a lot of the policy proposals that they have, that are important to them. And I totally feel that. I totally understand that. That said, they're not going to vote for Republicans, a lot of them, because Republicans, they're the party that more or less represents racist people, right? Not saying that every person who's a Republican is racist. I'm just saying that a lot of racists are Republicans.
The Republican Party's racist.
Okay. So now, that said, Donald Trump has taken an active interest, though, in trying to court black voters in the weirdest, most god-awful ways. For example, the sneakers. Remember the gold Trump sneakers? Okay. And the other more bizarre stuff where he was saying, "Oh, my indictments, I'm under criminal indictment. That, what? I understand what black people are going through now. Okay? I'm a victim of discrimination just like you." No, you're a rich fail son. Come on. A rich fail son, always bailed out by daddy, inherited everything that he's got, and has proceeded to lose a vast majority of it. Okay, and, well, he hasn't yet, but pretty close. Pretty close. He's going to be bankrupt. But you're a victim of the same kind of discrimination that black people have, traditionally faced. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you crimed and are not getting away with it. Okay. Now, the co-founder of Black Voters Matter, a group which encourages, of course, black people to vote, believes that these manipulated images are pushing a strategic narrative designed to show that Trump as being popular in the black community, which again is pretty hilarious. But where do the images come from? As I mentioned, MAGA supporters, right? Now, there's a concern, of course, that there are foreign actors that are trying to do this, that it's coming from the Russians. No, it's mainly being created and shared by US-based voters. One of them is Mark Kay and his team at a conservative radio show in Florida. They created an image of Trump smiling with his arms around a group of black women at a party, shared it on Facebook, where Mr. K has more than 1 million followers. Mr. K, in an interview with the BBC, told him, "Hey, I'm not a photojournalist. I'm not out there taking pictures of what's really happening. I'm a storyteller." Oh, you're a storyteller, are you, Mr. K? Oh, okay, yeah. So, storyteller or bullshit artist, okay? I'm just saying, seems more appropriate being a BS artist, but look, in the comments in the Facebook post, several users appeared to believe that it was indeed real. That, they're, oh my God, look, oh, Mr. Trump, hanging out with those black people on their front porch. Oh, wow. Now, when asked, of course, Mr. K said, "I'm not claiming it's accurate. I'm not saying, hey, look, Donald Trump was at this party with all these African-American voters. Look how much they love him. If anybody's voting that one way or the other because of one photo they see on Facebook, well, that's the problem with that person, and not the post itself." Ah, yes. You see, it's your fault for believing my fake pictures. You know what I'm saying? Now, that said, not every deepfake or AI-created image is from Trump fans. There's critics that, post them. There's satirical accounts that, will post these these pictures. For example, this one, okay, Donald Trump hanging out with people on the stoop, all right, right in the front porch. Now, the thing is, that was a satirical picture from a satirical account, but it only gained widespread attention after it was taken and reposted with a different caption, falsely claiming that this was real, that this had actually happened. The one who falsely captioned it, a Trump supporter going by the name of Shaggy, living in Michigan, said, quote, "My posts have attracted thousands of wonderful, kind-hearted Christian followers," he said in messages sent to the BBC and social media. When they asked him, okay, but what about that AI-generated image that isn't real that got over 1.3 million views? What about that? Well, when asked, he immediately hit the block button. I'm not kidding, because of course he did. Well, you're going to ask me a tough question? Block? So, again, to kind of summarize what's going on here, you've got, fake images of Donald Trump hanging out with black people, created by supporters of him, as well as satirists, and some of them are getting passed off as real as a way to try to, I guess, apparently trick black people into voting for Trump. Now, is the same thing happening with Joe Biden? Is Joe Biden, is he passing off, or, people, supporters of Joe Biden, creating fake AI images of him hanging out with, for example, women, or white men, or black men, or anything like that, or black women? No. No, it turns out that's not happening. Now, there are AI images of Biden, but they do tend to feature him alone or with other world leaders, such as Vladimir Putin or former President Barack Obama. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense because he was Obama's vice president. Obama! Okay. Now, some of these, of course, are created by critics, others by supporters, but it's never been used to try to trick any demographic into voting for Joe Biden. Now, however, there was one weird incident involving AI and Biden, but didn't have to do with any pictures. Turns out there was a voice recording that was created by AI that was impersonating Joe Biden, and it was a robocall that urged people not to vote in the New Hampshire primary. Now, that was weird. So I remember doing that story and being like, who the hell would do that? Well, turns out they found someone that did it, and it was a Democratic Party supporter who admitted responsibility and claimed that he only did it because he wanted to draw attention to the potential for this technology to be abused. Oh, right. Okay. I'm not quite buying that excuse, even though I do agree that, yes, this technology absolutely can be abused. All right. Now, that said, getting back to Cliff Albright here, uh, again, he said that there was appeared to be a resurgence of disinformation tactics from the right wing targeting the black community, saying that there have been documented attempts to target disinformation to black communities again, especially younger black voters. Mr. Albright said the fake images were consistent with a very strategic narrative pushed by conservatives, from the Trump campaign down to influencers online, designed to win over black voters. Now, the Trump campaign says, I don't know anything about this. Fake images, I don't know who would do that. Now, Mr. Albright says they're particularly targeting young black men who are thought to be more open to voting for Trump than black women. Ben Nimmo, who until last month was responsible for countering foreign influence operations at Meta, who owns Facebook, said the best way to spread disinformation is through influencers. Okay, these influencers online, since people are getting pretty savvy and figuring out, if images are faked or not, because of the extra arm. Nonetheless, apparently they're more apt to believe some of these pictures if an online influencer says that it's legit. Interesting. Mr. Nimmo said that he was concerned in 2024 that these people who may be willing to spread misinformation to their ready-made audiences, and they're talking about the influencers here, could become unwitting vectors for foreign influence operations. Now, as I said before, there's no evidence that this is a foreign operation, since it's made, a lot of this is being made by U.S.-based, online influencers, personalities, fans, etc., supporters, whatever. And so it's not just a foreign issue, and it doesn't have to be a foreign issue to be a problem. Old disinformation is a problem, okay? And AI, unfortunately, it's going to continue to get better. And for good or ill. I mean, there are good, legitimate uses for AI technologies that can help people, that can help, artists and influencers and things like that, news outlets, etc. But as it gets better for those applications, it can also get better at tricking people, as well as, of course, stealing art and information. And that's another thing, too. So I guess the lesson here is we all need to be a lot more careful about, what we believe online, what we see. Because, yes, right now, you can tell, that these images are fake, from the extra fingers. But at some point, I was going to get smart enough to realize, oh, right, humans generally only have 5 fingers. And when that happens, better watch out. So just get a little bit more media savvy and don't just believe anything that you see from an influencer online, even if it's somebody that you like and generally trust.